Pennie is giving us a look saying that.
Oh, spins, brother. We are here. Jalen Williams. We called it.
Love it.
What an unbelievable ascension to be there. Holy smokes.
So I do want to give some context here in terms of the Jalen Williams rise. So over the last 12 hours or so, because I've been awake now for 8 of those, I've gotten some texts saying look, I think the Cavs really like Jalen Williams. I think the Hawks really like Jalen Williams. My guess is that he goes higher than this because the teams think that they have to jump him in order to get him.
Correct. And I agree with that.
That's essentially what happened here. Oklahoma City, they didn't jump them with this pick, but they jumped with the previous pick using their cache of assets previously in order to go and get a guy in Ousmane Dieng that they wanted. On top of it, they now end up with Jalen Williams because they wanted the 3 guys that could really play. Spins, you wanted to talk about Jalen. I'm going to give you the floor. Tell us all about him.
I love Jalen. Absolutely love the way he plays. Think there's a really dependable floor there because he is a good passer, to be a secondary guy. And I think the word, connective tissue is a little bit overused sometimes. Yeah. But he can be that guy because he's tall, he's long. He can, in theory, defend multiple positions. And he shot about 40% from 3 on a low volume of catch and shoots this year. So a dependable floor. I see a ton of upside for a guy like him. Still growing into his body. Like, Pennie, I'm going to use this as my opportunity to ask you, what do you prefer? Guy who played quarterback in high school or a late bloomer physically who was a point guard and now turns into this 7-foot wingspan type of guy?
Can you do both? Is that like Anthony Edwards? There's both, and I'm laughing because Jacob, who's one of our new producers, wrote in the chat combine guy, Matt. I love that he played in the combine. There are shades of Josh Primo here because, as Sam mentioned, this was probably a pick. And I don't know what Woj is saying here, if they're actually trading this or not. They jumped in and probably took him a few spots early because they're afraid of what happened behind. So the Spurs took Josh Primo at 12 because they're worried about 17, 18. They couldn't wait until the 20s to get him. So them to come up and get their guy, I like him because he is such a classic late bloomer. Give me the guys that have the chip on the shoulder. Give me the guys who weren't ranked highly in high school. Spins, you're as dialed into the high school space as I am too. I talked to a person today from USA Basketball. And we talked about a kid who was cut. And I said, I want that kid. And you know why? Because he's going to come back in a year and be like, you cut me. I'm coming for mine. I'm going to score 15 points a game, and I'm going to rip everyone's hearts out, right? I want the guys that don't get complacent. He's been hungry. He was a lot smaller. He got bigger as time went on, kept the guard skills as he got bigger. Kind of like hiding in plain sight. Sam and I talked about him as January as a guy I liked in the 40s. This has been nuts, but I'll go back to the combine. Playing the combine, man, it works. It helps. If you can play, teams read into that a lot. It happened with Bones Highland. It happened with Josh Primo. Now it's happening here with our boy Jalen Williams. So I'm happy for him. I love the story, and I think it's really cool what Oklahoma City's putting together. I like that roster significantly more after tonight than I did yesterday.
Yeah, and look at just the way that the game is evolving, right? What every team is looking for are guys who can dribble, pass, and shoot at 6'6", or not even this big, where he's like the standing reach of a power forward, right?
Right.
But guys who can dribble, pass, shoot at this size, who have a credible potential to defend. I'm not quite as high on his defense as what I think his frame would indicate. You would think. I think that his feet can just get stuck in the mud a little bit more than what you're looking for. This is a little bit I really like Jalen Williams, and I'm in on it. It's a little high for me. It's
a lot of high. I mean, I submitted my board to our buddy at the USA Today, and I had him 16th, and I was like, man, that's got to be really high. And people started to come around on him a little bit. I just had a friend text me, is Oklahoma City becoming the West Coast Conference All-Stars with both Chet and Jalen Williams? Did Sam Presti watch Chet fall over and Jalen Williams score that bucket on and be like, I want that guy. Put him more on the radar. He's at 40. Let's put him at 30. And then he moved up in pre-draft. Who knows? Yeah. But it's sort of inside but outside the box for Oklahoma City, for Sam Presti. I like it. You got to take swings on this in the draft. You use all these picks. You have a treasure chest. Use the treasure.
So I mentioned the dribble pass shoot aspect of Jalen Williams. I think that's the critical thing in terms of what this rise is. NBA teams are looking for guys that are this big, that can dribble, that can pass, that can shoot. Jalen was one of the best catch and shoot guys statistically this year in college basketball. He has incredible passing ability. I mean, you watch this guy throw pocket passes out of pick and roll. It's absolutely phenomenal. He's so skilled at it. And then, he can handle because he grew up as a point guard, as Spins so eloquently put it a minute ago. Yeah. So I love this. I get it. The one that I don't get is giving up multiple picks for Ousmane Dieng. But
yeah, don't get it. We can't have all the wins, right? Some of the half wins.
But this is like undeniably like a huge win tonight for Oklahoma City. Like if we're grading drafts, right? Like I think this is an A draft, even though I don't love every single thing they've done. They've done incredibly well to add talent in the ways that they needed to add talent.
Yeah, totally. Good day for the Down to Dunk crew. That's for sure.